Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield.
All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10x your day, y'all. Time to level up. Time to crush it. Hey, you are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast. Robert Ferriell here, certified 10x coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. Well, you are listening to another segment of Communities Grow Together on the Elevate Springfield podcast. As you know, we drop these segments each week. The Communities Grow Together segment will touch on all things nonprofit associations and how we as a community are working together so we can all grow together. This segment is brought to you by David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agency over on West Wabash. Whatever you need insurance-wise, whether that's business, life, home, auto, or anything in between, hey, David and his team can take care of you. Give them a shout, or hey, stop by and visit them over on West Wabash. These segments are quick hits of actionable strategies and what's going on in our area to help you level up and grow together. Be right back after the break. Looking for personalized insurance with hometown care? David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agent, is here to help you protect what matters most: your family, your home, and your dreams. Whether it's auto, home, life, business, David and his team are proud to serve the Springfield community with trusted advice and reliable coverage. Local service, real relationships, peace of mind. Call today or stop by their office. They can build your dream protection plan together. Call 217-726-6343. And we are back for another edition of Communities Grow Together, brought to you by David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agency. Hey, whatever you need insurance-wise, personal or commercial, give David and his team a shout. They will take care of you, or just stop by their office over on West Wabash. In the studio with me today, we've got Terri Noel from Encore Consulting. We're going to talk a little bit about her business, but one fun thing we're going to get into, if you listen to the show a lot, you know I'm highly involved in Local First Springfield. Terri was involved back when it first started in 2009, so we're going to dive into a little bit of history about Local First here soon. But welcome, Terri. Thank you for joining me today.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before we talk about the Local First stuff and everything, tell everybody a little bit about Terri.
Well, I am married, a mother of 3 and grandmother to 4. And I launched my consulting company after I had worked in corporate America for about 20 years and decided that I could help small businesses and organizations grow because I knew how to get their word out and how to strategize for them. So that's how Encore Consulting and Publishing LLC came to be. In fact, June 1, I start my 24th year.
Congratulations on that.
So it's been a fun roller coaster. I've worked with over 120 different industries in Central Illinois, actually Southern Illinois as well. And but my most fun thing is to help Springfield grow and be strong.
Awesome. What was the impetus to you starting your own business there? What really made you decide, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm ready to roll here.
So oddly enough, many people will remember a very great man named Michael Ayers, and he was an adjunct professor when I was finishing my MBA at UIS, and he was doing business consulting, and he was talking about how he was helping businesses, and I went and spoke with him after his lecture one time, and I said, Mike, I want to do what you do. You know, how do I do that? Because, you know, I have all of this years and years of experience, and I want to share it. And so he said, well, first of all, finish your MBA because you have to have the clout behind what you say. People, that yes, they want to know who you are, but they also want to have faith that you know what you're talking about. And so I was only a few classes away from that, so I felt like, okay, I can accomplish that. So I graduated in 2003. A month prior to graduation, I went out and just started talking to businesses that I had collaborated with during my current and previous position, and said, I'm going to be doing this. Do you need some help? And so I had 3 clients in the first couple weeks that I was talking to people. And then it grew to, dozens.
Mm-hmm.
And then it ebbed and flowed. People retired or sold their business or referred me to other businesses as they did something different.
Mm-hmm.
And 23 years just flies right by.
There you go. Well, in another episode, we're going to kind of go through that whole 23 years and talk about the growth of the business and
It'd
how
have
things
to be
have changed
a
over
late
the years.
night going to sleep segment.
Oh, no, it'll be a great one. It'll be a great one. Some of the strategies you've used in the whole 9, but we'll get into that in another one. So Local First Springfield, I've only really been involved with Local First Springfield for about 1.5 years. Now, I'm the president now, of course, but my historical context is really not that far back. The folks that I've talked to that I work with now have been on the board for a few years, maybe 5 years. So we have some historical context, but not really back to when it first started, which was in 2009, you told me, right?
I want to guess that it was late 2009. I have emails back to 2010. So I was invited, I'm fairly confident, to join the charter board by Sharon Whalen, who was the publisher of Illinois Times at that time. And she was inspired by the American Independent Business Alliance, which is a national group. It actually helps small towns and communities know how to market themselves as a, shop local, buy local, eat local, spend your money local. That was its mission. And so she pulled a group of us. I think there were about 12. And there were some, names that everybody, will know. For instance, Mike Murphy was on that charter board.
He? Yeah.
Yes, as the owner of Charlie Parker's. Dave Frankie, who owned Paris Cleaners and Labonte's. There were people from the university. There were people from the media, about 15 to 20. Each of those individuals served 2 or 3 years, depending on their role. But what we started was basically to educate consumers on who is a local business, because Walmart is not a local business owner. They're not stationed here. And then also provide consumers the ability to shop and to know who they were. So we set up fun things. We did free shred events. We went to each of our locally owned business members. We set up little drawing boxes at the holidays where we did a sweepstakes. So every time you shopped, you put your name in the little box, and every week all of our members would go and collect those, and then we would draw for gift cards to try to encourage consumers to shop local for their holidays. Something that they've also been doing similar for who knows how many years through downtown Springfield. Everyone probably has done that as well. So it's very similar. I don't know who started what as far as the idea. We also weekly breakfast meetings provided by Mike at Charlie Parker's.
Oh, sure.
And
that's helpful to have somebody in there like that.
Yeah. Well, there was a few others. And that was more of a networking plus helping each other promote what they were doing. And then our job was then to make sure that everybody knew where to shop and where to eat. And that was the goal. Consumer education was the mission.
Okay. So back in 2009, do you recall really what the driving force when somebody said, hey, we need a group like this? Do you remember who pushed that charge? Nobody's doing it. We have to.
I'm going to give 100% credit to Sharon, who was the publisher of Illinois Times, who had, I believe, attended a conference at the Independent Business Alliance, again, a nationwide program. And she came back with the idea that we needed to strengthen our businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I've been able to do throughout my profession is I do a lot of writing and I do a lot of articles about why people should support local businesses. But additionally, the local businesses also need to support local businesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so the money trickles down to the community and stays in the community when you buy local, shop local, go to restaurants that are locally owned, not franchises. We love our franchises, but if you spent just 10% of your spend with only local, it makes such a difference in the community.
Mm.
And in fact, there were two recent researcher firms, one out of Austin, Texas, that showed that 48% of each purchase at a local business was recirculated. And at a chain store, only 14%.
Yeah,
And-
huge.
Right. And another research group out of Maine, they studied how much of $100 would stay and recirculate in the community. And they found that $45 for a retailer,
Mhm.
but for restaurants, it was $65 of the 100. So consumers can drive the economics of a community.
Mhm.
We have that control. So, for instance, if you want more, then you have to give out more by
Mhm.
supporting the people that can really make a difference in the community. Yes, we love our larger franchises, but they usually are not the ones that donate. They don't give the silent auction baskets. They don't sponsor nonprofit fundraisers. It's the local business person. So, the consumer has really the total control.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You go to any events, any charitable events, all the gift baskets are from local folks.
Exactly.
You see any sports teams out there, the little leagues and all that stuff, the names on the back of the jerseys or on the front of the jerseys are all locally owned.
That's right.
That's what it's at.
That's right.
So, now, back in 09, was it more downtown driven or was it full community wide? I don't know when downtown Springfield was part.
That's a great question. So downtown Springfield was alive and well, and they used to pull together a few different events for downtown that I have to admit that I went to all of them. So no, they were very integral. And the Chamber of Commerce is very integral in local business growth. They're supposed to do bigger as well as local. So they're not only helping the one person retailer, but they're also trying to pull in those bigger groups that can bring in more jobs.
Yeah, and they have an advocacy component to what they do too.
Exactly.
Which is,
so everyone's kind of doing the same thing, but our mission was to educate the consumer, to tell them where to go to shop and where to go to eat. Because if they're aware of it, then they're more likely to be their next customer. And it is a strong possibility that a lot of the locally owned businesses do not have the large marketing budgets.
Yeah.
So we could actually be kind of a spokesperson for those free of charge. I think our membership was, I don't know, $65 or something to be a member. So that was pretty inexpensive advertising to promote to the local community. I know that each first week of July is called Independence Week, and we would coordinate with all the media in town, and almost all of them would give free airtime, TV spots, radio spots, newspaper ads. Of course, Illinois Times, Business Journal, always donated space. And they would list, all of our members, and they would talk about the value of spending money locally. So we were also an ad campaign, not only during the first week of July, it's called Independence Week, spelled differently than the 4th of July Independence.
Sure.
And then also the Christmas holiday sweepstakes.
Yeah.
Or we called it holiday. I don't think we used the word Christmas.
Holiday sweepstakes.
Yeah, it was more generic.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you said back then that you're talking about being marketing arm, because that's over the high presidency here. That's one thing that's like that's really where our niche can be. We can be the de facto marketing arm for some of these local businesses that like you said, may not have a giant budget for marketing right now.
Right.
We can use our significant social reach to help those local businesses. So
Right.
that's one thing I've been trying to do a lot of over this past year.
And all of the entities that work with businesses, the chambers and the DSI, they're all doing that also.
Mm.
It's just that we were doing it a little bit different way, none better or worse. Everybody together made it stronger. The more you know that there's, a new restaurant, the more you're more likely to go to it. And
Right.
so it was that kind of a goal.
Oh, I completely agree. And I think over the years, groups have sometimes butted heads, but to me, we should all be working together. That's why this segment is called Communities Grow Together, because we can all
Absolutely.
these groups and all of us people, all of us businesses can work together to help all of us grow together.
Absolutely.
We all serve our own little niches. Oh,
Yeah, there is a lot more work out there than the even current groups have the manpower to reach out. I know that if a business reaches out to any of them, they will get an answer to their question or their concern. But the manpower to reach out to every person that has a business or a restaurant or is doing something that might be working from home, it's impossible for our small groups to reach everybody. So, we're here. You just have to come and ask for the resources.
any other ways the group grew early on?
Well, it was amazing really how fast we did grow pretty quickly. I don't know if I know how we did it. Maybe by referral,
Sure.
which is always a great
Yeah.
way. We did always have, again, the weekly breakfasts, and then we did evening networking, but we were trying not to compete with the, zillions of other evening networking things.
Right.
But I think people find out about you if you're doing good work. Probably the consumer programs that we did are probably what enticed the other businesses to get involved or participate.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, and then that word of mouth just keeps on
Right,
growing and going, going,
right.
going. Everybody's referring, so great way to grow.
Yeah. Yes,
So,
exactly.
well, you have an opportunity for current Local First Springfield members, correct, through your business?
I sure do. So one of my passions and missions is to help businesses grow. And I realize that I know, because I've been doing this for 43 and a half years, that marketing is, a big spider web of, confusion.
Mm.
And if you are a small business or a new business, or even if you're what we call medium sized, sometimes you don't have the time to sort through it all. And so if there's any Local First members that would like to sit and chat with me for, you know, coffee or lunch, whatever, then I'm happy to give you ideas and suggestions and get you down the right road. I know that when I meet with new businesses, they are restricted on their budget, which is, of course, no one has the budget to do everything. But sometimes there's just 2 or 3 things that they could start with to get them down the right road. And I just feel like people will trust somebody that's got some background and can give them guidance. I'm not asking for any money in return. There's no expectation. And I think that people are more receptive when they feel like you just care.
Right.
And I do, because it's sad that businesses stop being businesses.
Right.
I spend probably 80% of what I spend on local business and local restaurants. I flip it completely the other way. It's been, I don't know how long ago, 10, 26, 16 years of just writing about, support local. I would feel like a traitor if I didn't do
If
it
you
that
didn't,
way.
right, exactly. No, and even since I've become more involved with Local First Springfield, I've always bought local, but maybe not for everything or everything I could, right? So as I got more involved, I'm like, well, I could go to Food Fantasies instead of over here, locally owned business right there, and shop there more rather than somewhere else. So
Absolutely.
it's amazing when that's front of mind, how quickly you can start making those pivots, and it really does make an impact when more and more people are doing that.
Absolutely. The economics behind, when a business buys from other businesses or a consumer buys from local businesses, and it's called the multiplier effect. So what happens is that, let's take a restaurant, for example. So you go to the restaurant, and I'm a big believer that you leave your tip in cash because of the way that unfortunately things are taxed. And so there is an income that's coming to those people in cash that's going to be spent locally.
Right.
That's one example. So if you're a business and you're buying your supplies or you're those kinds of things locally, you are reinforcing a second business who is then employing an additional set of people who is then spending their money to buy things in their local community. So that's where you get, that $45 to $65 of every 100 that stays in the community, supports the schools, donates to the fundraisers. Businesses can be the leader of this, where businesses buy from local business. So I don't mean to say never buy from Amazon, but if there's a supplier that has paper products and cups and napkins and garbage bags, like Masco.
Like Masco, yeah.
for
Jeff
instance,
Dillman, he's in a lot. If you listen to the show, you've seen him
Yes.
multiple times.
Then-
That's exactly what they can provide.
then if he's taking care of the local businesses, he's employing more people. And those people are buying houses and they're buying cars and they're employing realtors and home inspectors and car salesmen and detailers. I mean, it just goes wild.
Yeah, multiplier effect.
That's right.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yes.
So we would encourage everybody to take a look at what you're spending today, all the different places that you're spending money. Where could that go locally? Where could you start making some of those pivots and makes a big impact?
Exactly.
Well, Terri, what other organizations have you been a part of? I'm sure you've been a part of a number of them. You've been involved for a while now.
Well, I could be involved in a lot more because there's so many great things, and I have interest in so many different things. Currently, I assist with some of the fundraisers for Habitat for Humanity, which is, giving people affordable homes in our community in Sangamon County. I'm on a couple of committees that are in women's groups. We have Illinois Women in Leadership, our women entrepreneurs. Those are educational, informative things, but they also do fundraisers and they do auctions in order to give scholarships. And I will also does a scholarship for graduating seniors to go to college. So I like to be involved in those kinds of things. So many, as a long list of things.
Oh, yeah,
But so those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, no, we had Lisa in not too long ago from Women Entrepreneurs of
Yes.
Central Illinois. Yeah, you got to talk
She
about
might
the
have talked
showcase.
about the showcase.
Yep, she
and That's
did.
a great way. And I guess I could give that a plug
Yeah,
because
might as well go for it.
we
Remind
do-
everybody.
we do a very strong marketing campaign out to any shoppers that want to meet new business owners.
Mhm.
We have over 70 booths of locally owned business people. This particular group is women,
Mhm.
but you don't have to be just a woman to shop there. And it's April 16th at the Crown Plaza, and we have over 200 people that attend.
That's awesome.
So that's a great first place. I'm glad you brought that up. That is a perfect place to start your shopping local.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it.
Big difference.
And we also you just mentioned like scholarships and grants. Yeah, the
Yes.
WCI has a $500 grant.
Women Entrepreneurs of Central Illinois is there to help young entrepreneurs and mature entrepreneurs run their business better. And so sometimes you need a new computer, or you need to go to a seminar, or you need to do something that's going to enhance, maybe you need something for your office. Maybe it's, to pay for an intern for a semester. And so the grants are for our members to earn for their business.
And that could be big especially for somebody
Absolutely.
that's just getting started,
Absolutely.
I've talked to people all the time on the show, been able to learn their entrepreneurship journey, and they talk about, hey, if I just had an extra $500 or $1,000, I could have
Right.
bought this piece of equipment and I could have grown a little quicker
Exactly.
than I did. It could be a game changer.
And for a
people.
brand new business, maybe it's just getting a simple website.
Yeah.
Or a brochure or your business cards.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things, tick away. And, one of the lectures that I give to business owners, when I meet with them is, you can't just assume that you can hang a sign on the front of your building and that people will just magically know
Right.
you're there.
They start showing up. Yeah.
So, you might be an entrepreneur that just needs to be able to join 2 or 3 organizations. And maybe that grant would pay for the, yearly dues. You could be a member of the chamber, you could be a member of Women Entrepreneurs, and then that way you spread your word by referrals.
Yeah.
So there's all grassroots marketing, as we call it in the biz.
Yes, indeed. There you go. Well, any advice you could give me as somebody who was around at the beginning of Local First to the guy that's the president of the board right now? Any advice you could give me?
Well, I wanted to thank you, number one, for taking the position of board president, and for the board and for the members that support you, because it's never easy. It's very time consuming. Everything is time consuming, and to do it right takes time. What I'm most excited about in the Local First Springfield group right now is that I see this new generation of people, making changes and doing the things that are going to make future changes. And sometimes, not everybody, but sometimes people kind of, oh, we did that, or we always did it this way. We don't want to change things. And what happens is sometimes you can go out like Kodak film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So young people, new ideas, taking it in a new direction. I think that that's a great thing to happen. So I'm very excited, and we're going to plan a gala.
Yeah, this fall. Absolutely.
So I volunteered. There's a thing I'm going to I volunteered to participate. I'm a gala girl.
There we go. You can help us out getting our first gala going. That's going to be great.
I have been the first of a few of those types of events. So yeah, I've got a little bit of experience on that.
Let's go. No, we do have a pretty young board, actually. I don't consider myself probably on the younger end anymore, but we do have a lot of younger folks on the board, and it's good to see that young entrepreneur infusion in the community. I really like it.
Well, and because they are not only currently managing or getting to the point where they will be the managers, but they also could springboard into a business ownership.
Exactly.
Whether that be on the side or whether it's a spouse that does that. So I think that just being involved and networking is really everything. You never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to know, who's going to introduce you to the next person. You just don't know. And people, they don't have the time to come and find you. You have to be out there and be in front of people.
Love it. Couldn't have said it better myself. Love it.
Well, you're doing a great job doing it how you're doing it.
Well, appreciate it.
And I love this new agey podcast thing.
Yeah.
It's way out of my wheelhouse.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. I have fun with it. I'll tell you, I've been doing this podcast for a little over a year now, and just the amount of people I've been able to learn more about and talk about their journey and get strategies and tips and advice, and being able to hopefully help people out there utilize those strategies and tips and advice to help all of us grow together. It's been a great ride. Loving it.
Yeah. Well, it's a really fun way of doing it. Yeah. And you're doing great.
Well, thank you, Terri. Well, remind everybody, maybe they're a Local First member and they want to take you up on that offer you said a little bit, or maybe they just want to learn more about you and your business. Where do they go?
So, well, first of all, I am on the Local First Springfield website directory. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Encore Consulting. Just, reach out, come to a meeting, say hi. I'm going to be at all the meetings.
There you go. Well, appreciate you coming and talking Local First history with me today.
Thank you. Yes, it's fun. I'm glad that it's still alive and kicking. That's great that it's been around this long.
And that's the plan. We're going to keep pushing.
Yeah.
And looking forward to learning more about what you do and talking about your business in the coming months.
Well, I thought we'd do something about, marketing 101. I think that would be kind of fun.
Let's do it. All right. Well, we're going to let Terri get back to elevating Springfield. But for the rest of y'all, we'll be right back. Hey, Springfield, when it comes to reliable, high-quality roofing, you don't want to leave things to chance. That's why you should reach out to Acosta Angeli Roofing, your local roofing expert, serving Springfield and surrounding communities. From quick, dependable repairs to full replacement, from residential to commercial, they are your trusted pros. Call them today at 217-993-2748 or visit their website to book your free quote and inspection. Don't wait. A little leak now could lead to major damage later. Trust the local experts, protect your home, and get peace of mind with Acosta Angeli Roofing. Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody, on another segment of Communities Grow Together on the Elevate Springfield podcast. Thank you again to David Hilst, American Family Insurance Agency, for partnering with us on this segment. Hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great.
Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at sangamontreeservice.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust.